Welcome back. So with COVID-19 cases mounting in the city and in the classroom, there are concerns now that more schools may be forced to close and return to remote learning.
So late Friday, the CDC came out with a new strategy to help keep schools open during the pandemic. It's called Test to Stay. So under these new guidelines, unvaccinated kids can stay in school after exposure if they get tested and are not showing any signs of illness.
So what do educators think of the new policy? Joining us this morning, the president of the United Federation of Teachers, Michael Mulgrew. Nice to have you back on Good Day.
Good morning.
So what do you think about the new CDC guidelines?
I'm not a fan at all.
Why?
Not a fan. Because we're doing what we need to do to try to keep our schools open, but right now we doubled in our positivity rate in the last 3 days of school last week. And it's almost exclusively being driven by unvaccinated students. And when I hear the CDC keep telling us, and the White House keep telling us we need more people vaccinated, in the middle of this surge, they come out and say, oh, we can keep your unvaccinated student who had a close contact in school, when they should be telling everyone you need to get vaccinated. So it's like they're talking out of both sides of their mouths at this point. So it was not helpful, especially considering the surge that we're having at this moment.
So let me ask you, school closes down for the holidays on Thursday. Jumaane Williams, who's running for governor of New York, says school should be closed right now. What are your thoughts on that?
You know, where we are having issues with COVID, schools are closing. But to shut down the entire school system at this moment, when we still know that the schools continue to be the safest place in every community, and what we're dealing with this year more than anything else is the damage that has already been done because of COVID to all of our students, which is making this the toughest school year ever. So the only way for us to help students and really get past or undo some of that damage is to have them inside of our classrooms, not at home remotely. So I understand that, and if the surge continues, we would have to consider those things. But right now, we know that it's being driven in our schools by unvaccinated students. So I think that's where our priority should be right now, getting those students vaccinated.
I think a lot of parents and just a lot of viewers had this sense of there wasn't enough transparency in terms of what threshold needed to be hit in order to shut down schools. Can you explain that?
No. This is part of what we're calling for, more testing. The transition from of government that we're having in New York City couldn't come at a worse time for the school system. Because what we know is if they cannot trace where COVID is coming from inside of the school, if they don't know exactly who brought it in, then they look to investigate and close the school down. But the entire apparatus that was used, known as Situation Room and Test and Trace, has really become quite shaky as we near the end of this administration. And going into the new administration, I don't think they need to understand that this is something that is vitally important to our school system. So right now we're talking with both administrations about staffing up and training people very quickly. We've gotten everyone's telling us yes, they want to do that. So right now, that's what we're looking to see happen, because the testing has been the early warning system for us to isolate the correct people and not close the schools.
Yeah.
But right now, parents are getting notifications on a Friday that your student had a close contact on Monday.
Yeah.
And that is not the way it's supposed to work.
Do you propose any kind of specific percentage, a positive percentage rate that, hey, if we hit this is when we shut schools down?
Well, you have to look at the individual schools themselves, but when you don't know how the virus is coming into the school, if you can't pinpoint it was the 2 individuals who caused these 8 cases, if you don't know that, then you should be isolating it for a couple of days minimally, and then allow those students and staff to get tested. And that way, you know, if you come back in, that you're not going to be spreading the virus inside of the building and then again back out to the community. We've come really way too far to have the test and trace apparatus fall apart right now. So that's really our biggest concern.
So I know you've been talking about unvaccinated kids coming into school and causing problems. What about the vaccinated kids? What number of those vaccinated kids are coming in with the variant?
Right now we're getting the data this morning from all of last week, so we don't have a specific number. What the folks who are digging through it have told me already today is that the vast majority of the positivity cases are unvaccinated students, and a large number of them are 5 to 11-year-olds. Our high schools are approaching 80% vaccinated. Our elementary schools are still under 30%. So that's really where we need to concentrate right now.
And I know that you touched on this before. It seems like you don't want to go back to remote learning because of the problems that it caused. Briefly, can you give me an idea of what kind of learning issues you're dealing with in the classroom right now from remote learning?
Hands down, toughest school year ever. It's social emotional trauma is there. Behavioral issues are happening all across the school system. We're having safety issues in terms of regular school safety, not COVID safety. And there's clearly a lot of learning loss. Could you imagine a first grader right now, basically from pre-K and kindergarten, they've been in COVID, so all of that literacy development, yeah, some of it was done through remote, but remember, the teachers always said remote was not the way to go. That was a way to engage our students, but that's not the best way to actually teach children.
You're right.
So this is the toughest year, and I can't thank the teachers enough, because what they're dealing with is a massive challenge, but they're up to it. They just would like to have the supports they're supposed to get in terms of keeping each school safe.
Michael Mulgrew, president of UFT, thank you so much, and thank you to the teachers out there who are in the trenches trying to get our kids up to speed. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Happy holidays, everyone.
You too. Happy holidays.